name is Alejandra Sieder. People call me Alex, and I am graphic designer. I am located in Sydney, Australia.
My name is Amor, and I am a bartender on a cruise ship.
Hi, my name is Jackie Brown. I work in advertising and I'm also a voiceover actor.
My name is Juan Urbina and I am located in Los Angeles, California.
Hi, my name is Nanat and I'm an actor.
Hi, my name is Gloria Sarazola. I am the proud owner of Happy Wallet Quality Auto Repair located in Naples, Florida.
My name is Ronald Paredes. I'm an artist and graphic designer from Caracas, Venezuela. I have been living in China for the last 14 years.
Hi, my name is Oriana Munoz. Oriana Munoz. I'm Venezuelan. I moved to California over 6 years ago now.
My name is Federico de Diego. I'm an entrepreneur and a professor at the university here in Spain.
Hi, my name is Armando Esposito, and I'm currently living in Jalapa, the city of Jalapa in the state of Veracruz, in Mexico.
I don't think I have too many regrets of things that we didn't do before the coronavirus pandemic, because thankfully as a family we've always been able to do the things that we want to do. We travel a lot, we go to the theater, we do concerts and events, so we've been lucky that we've always been able to do what we want to do. Nothing comes to mind right now of any regrets of something that I didn't get to do before this started.
The only thing I regret about the time before coronavirus outbreak is that I wasn't home with my family and my friends where I should have been, and that people just didn't have enough time to prepare themselves for this crazy situation. They just didn't take it serious enough.
I don't feel I have any regret. Most of my friends know that I am quite impulsive and determined, so happily I have finished some projects that I had at the end of last year.
I think I don't regret anything. I live day by day, step by step. I live with the sense of life is very fragile and everything can change in 1 minute, as it happened before and as we can experimenting now.
I don't regret not doing anything before the coronavirus, because usually whatever I want to do, I do, especially if it's something fun. So anything that I wanted to do, I've done. I would regret not doing the same things when this is over.
I regret not traveling, especially to South America, Colombia, where my family's from. I wanted to go this year. I've been wanting to go many years, but I keep putting it off, and hope that maybe next year will be that year that I can go and see my friends and my extended family, and maybe take some friends with me to show them what a beautiful country it is.
Actually, I don't have any regrets. My life before and after the coronavirus is pretty much the same, because I'm an artist and freelancer who works at home. So I'm used to being in a quarantine most of the time.
The only thing that I regret not having done enough of before the pandemic is to travel, because I think you can never have traveled enough.
After the coronavirus, if there's an after anyway, for sure I'm gonna try to keep myself as healthy as possible. And yes, I'm gonna be wearing mask just to protect myself, and I will be sanitizing my groceries for sure, because I think that anything you can do to prevent yourself from getting a disease.
I don't don't know which of the things that we're doing right now will continue after the coronavirus pandemic is over, but definitely some things will change. I don't like wearing the gloves. I wear them when I have to, so I would probably not wear that too long. I'll wear the mask as needed. But I think things will change, like for us New Yorkers, touching things on the subway, touching things on the street, the way we hug and kiss each other might change, especially with strangers or people that are outside your family. I think that some of those things I'll be a lot more cautious with now.
This pandemic has probably been a good opportunity to see the potential of things getting very ugly. The only things that at the end you really have is family. Okay? Despite that it's by video or by phone, family is what really matters and family is what's really there. So aftermath, for sure, I'll try to be much more, closer to them. I don't care about being more, cautious in terms of, mask or whatever. There's gonna be something new that's gonna go out there. So that's not my main takeaway on this one.
The new normal will change. I will go to the street with a mask. I don't think I will go if I am walking in the park, because in the park you have a lot of space and you are very isolated. But if you are going to buy the groceries, I will, have the mask. Yesterday I went to the dentist with my son and I had the mask. They measured the temperature, they put alcohol in my hands, and it was so weird because the girl had a mask, I had a mask, my son didn't. The doctor had a mask, and in fact he changed 4 times the mask. So it is a new normal that we will live in a short term.
China is a country that is still developing, so there is a lot of construction, and also there are some places where the hygienic conditions are not the best. It is a good practice if you live in China to wash your hands and to wear mask. So it wasn't that much of a difference.
Well, for me, life hasn't changed. Everything seems to be the same, but my plan for this year is to travel through Europe and Africa while riding my bike from town to town. So I need to wait till borders are open and to also be able to book a flight. On the happy side of life, it's a good year for traveling because I guess all the costs and prices of traveling will be quite cheap.
It's not about fear, it's about care. Caring for each other and taking precautions because we care for, each other is the most important thing.
After this pandemic, besides wearing my mask and gloves, above all, I will be much more appreciative and appreciate all the little things that we have, because I think most of us just, take everything for granted. So I'll appreciate even more, the fact that I have a roof above my head, I have my family around me, my friends, my dog. So I'll be much more appreciative.
What I'm doing after, I think more bike rides, more social events, but of course this is going to be a transition, right? So once we're going to be able to go back to normal, if there's going to be actually a normal, it's just going back to the things that I love. But in the meantime, I think everything that is going to be more like a virtual experience is gonna be predominant.
After this coronavirus thing is over, I don't plan on doing anything I'm doing right now. I'm not gonna be wearing a mask, I'm not gonna be washing my hands 17 times a day, and I'm not gonna have hand sanitizer in my pocket to wash them every other hour, because I think there are things out there, little bacteria and little viruses that we need to build antibodies. And I think it's a natural process. And once this is over, right now I'm respecting what people want me to do, so I will do it. But after this is over, if I don't have to do it, I'm not gonna do it.
I don't think I've learned any new skills. I don't have the time right now to do other things. I'm still working. I have 2 jobs and I have 2 kids. So there's a lot of school, work, my recordings that I do in my closet in there. So I don't have too much time to do to learn new skills or to do other things. We do a lot of baking on the weekends, and we do read a lot of books and watch movies. And I guess the only thing I've learned is how to record inside the closet instead of going to a studio.
Personally, I started to be more active in social media. I started to record videos. Actually, this black background that you see behind me is part of a small home studio that I created to start recording online classes and to start recording videos. Let's start by drawing consecutive circles, one after the other, sharing my experiences and also podcasting. So that is something that I want to continue doing in the future, because I understand that it is possible that we see ourselves in this kind of situation again. Basically, everybody with a functioning brain is capable of being creative. So I have to diversify and reinvent myself and trying to produce content that you can consume online.
That I had to learn tolerance of other people's thoughts and how they, political views. That's the biggest, intolerance in listening to different political views about this or theories, and just being open-minded and not judging, why this or why that, and not judging, what somebody else thinks of how things happen or why they happen.
Well, I wouldn't say that I have necessarily acquired a new skill, except that I'm a pro at eating and sleeping. But I've been spending a lot of time with my dog Luna. We've been on a lot of walks around the neighborhood in the forest, sleeping, eating treats, right? And I've also been practicing my cooking skills.
I did a course in oil to paint better. Well, it was an amazing course, and I really dedicated time. I really put passion, and I made 2 paintings from that course. Very nice. I'm happy with this.
But if I need to name one, probably is to, again, remind myself that to cook is something fun, and to cook is something that I can do. I will say average on this. I mean, if I put myself on making a proper meal with a proper recipe, it comes away. And it comes in a way that everybody likes it.
One of the new things that I learned and I started doing because of COVID is, one, playing the guitar. However, I start with a very hard one with Breathe, Pink Floyd, and there's some chords in there that I feel like I'm gonna get some arthritis. So I'm getting over that, almost done with the song. The other activity that I did is growing my shiitake mushrooms in home. It was pretty cool. It's like a brand new realm, right? It's super cool to see how the little fungi start growing up, and then it just goes super fast.
The new skills I've learned with this is, like most of us that are fortunate enough to be working from home, we have learned to do a better work working with others, building a more efficient workflow and approaching the same goal in a different way. In my house, I've been learning to have patience with my kids.
Así va la cuarentena. El resorte de la puerta del garaje roto. Se explotó un fusible, se explotó en la brequera y esta luz no prende. Este enchufe no sirve. Por supuesto, la luz de la sala no sirve tampoco, no prende. Y hubo que conectar esto de aquí para la plancha, lo que hizo que uno de los carajitos disfrazados de Spider-Man chocara contra la plancha, se cayera y ahora la plancha se rompió y no prende. Además, debido a que ha llovido horizontalmente, hubo que poner un pequeño plástico aquí para que no se moje para adentro. De resto, la cuarentena va súper chévere.
The part with homeschooling has been a little tough, and having the kids all day at home is very challenging. I am fortunate enough where I have a place where I can take them, where they can ride their bikes, and we are not close to anybody. It's open air, so we can breathe a little air and be out of the house. I've been having quality time with them like never before. So I've learned to balance my time between working from home and hanging out with my kids and having quality family time. I've loved that part.
During this free time, I can say I've reached and I've upgraded some of my skills. I was learning Spanish, which I started to learn like 3 years ago, and I think it's getting a lot better.
Buenos días. Espero que todos estén bien. y saludos desde Serbia. Bye bye.
I learned how to work out with no weights, without gym, just body weight home exercise here in this small room. I was reading a lot about subjects that are connected to the type of work I'm doing, hospitality, food and beverage, because in these times things are happening pretty fast and you really need to keep up with it.
Well, at this time where we cannot leave home, I'm learning a new skill, which is gardening. By the way, this is my garden, and all the plants that you may see around here, I planted them for the last 3 years, and it's so beautiful, so relaxing to see that the nature is just growing with your care and your concern and love. I'm not a gardener, so I ask at the nurseries about how to plant. I ask gardeners who are professionals in it, and so it's something that fulfills me. It's a physical challenge, but it's something that I enjoy doing, and I feel that I'm beautifying the space, and it's wonderful to see how nature grows. Hi there, I just want to mention that in this pandemic year and future lifestyle, I've been taking private courses to learn how to play the saxophone. My next project, which I hope will start somewhere by November this year, is to travel through Europe on my bike, and I hope that I can finance that by playing the saxophone on the parks. I want to give it a shot. Who knows? Perhaps it's possible, perhaps it's not. Let's see.
Observa.
I think I miss being able to have like this human touch with the people that you love, being able to hug them and be more natural. I think like the physical space kind of like restrain you a little bit on being natural. And if you're like with my friends, I am very like lovable. So I think in that time it's like, let's take some space. So
well, what I miss the most is meeting with my friends, having a drink with them, gossiping, sharing about our lives, about their families. Happily, I have a friend of mine who she's okay on. We hang out and travel to small towns nearby, and we just explore and see what do we find open. So that exploration is quite relaxing, and we both enjoy it. So that's a good relief at this time.
What I miss the most right now is, ironically, being in front of a camera. Just, being on a big set, filming and films and commercials, and, to spend time with my entertainment industry friends, and not having, to worry excessively about the pandemic. And also, I miss traveling, to be able to hop on a plane and, just go see places.
I'm gonna say just being able to go out anywhere I want, going to my favorite store, shopping. Shopping for me is the biggest thing. Even though I can do it online, it's not the same as, going to a store and be able to try something out and say, nope, I don't want this, versus, okay, I'm gonna get all of this, let's see what works, and then return it. That's, obviously I do miss going out to the stores and getting what I want when I need it.
The freedom to be, and to go anywhere I want. The freedom to be sure that I'm supposed to be making a living on a place that is completely or extremely safe, not only from a health perspective, but from many other perspectives. Of course, I miss deeply to be close to my parents. I miss deeply to be close to my brothers. I miss deeply to give them a hug. I miss deeply to be close with my friends. But if I need to symbolize it, definitely it's going to be my freedom to walk over my city.
Okay, the thing that I miss the most is going out, for example, to Shanghai or to Nanjing. Traveling, I used to go to Shanghai at least once or twice a week for work. That is something that really hit me. I have a lot of friends over there, especially the activities. When I get to travel there, I can feel that I'm working on something.
Well, I definitely miss traveling. I miss my friends, so going out to eat or going out to get drinks. I miss dancing. I miss being able to go to the beach, outside to parks. Now that the days are beautiful, we're missing going outside. But I definitely miss traveling. So I really hope that at some point we're able to, be able to go different places again. I love going to concerts and live events, and there doesn't seem to be any plans on having any of those soon. So I miss concerts and traveling for sure. Those are the ones I miss the most.
There is a long list of the things that I miss doing. I miss my city, I miss freedom. I miss having a coffee with my girlfriend, having a walk next to the water. I miss my mom's kitchen. I miss my little nephew. Yeah. You start wondering about these things when situation like this happen, and then you start to appreciate your life even more, and you start thinking about things like the purpose of life and stuff.
I miss connection. I think, look your friends, your neighbors, take a coffee and a croissant that I loved in the street, take a hug. And, we are Latin, we hug people. It's our nature, it's in our nature. So I miss that. I miss to stop in the street and talk to someone. And yes, I miss see the beach. I miss reading the beach. I love to read in front of the beach. Like your freedom is really, really gone in some way. I miss see people, laughing in the street and sharing and doing picnics in the park. I miss to go to the galleries. I miss to go to the library. Yes, I missed a lot of things.
What I miss the most is hanging out with my friends and hugging people. I love hugging people and showing affection and having friends over, or me going over to a friend's house and being close without mask, talking to each other, high-fiving, and having that human connection. That's what I've missed the most.
I think a lot of things are going to change in the way that we work, in the way that we interact with others, in the way that we travel. I think that a lot of things at work are going to change. People that are able to do remote work are going to be more accepted. People maybe with disabilities that weren't able to work before might have more opportunities. I think salaries are going to change. And I just hope that some of the changes that are happening right now are for the better. But I definitely think a lot of things are going to change because of this.
I definitely see the world change as far as reuniting goes, and also making everything more simpler. Because I think a lot of us have realized, during this pandemic, that a lot of the things that we have done or are doing could have been done in a more simpler way, such as, that meeting could have just been an email or a phone call. So I think those are the changes that I see upon us.
I feel that in the short future, people in the world will become a bit more selfish on the healthy side of themselves and their families. People may become more distant, either with friends, with colleagues, with neighbors, with the guy in the store in the corner. So I think we will have to learn how to take care of ourselves, but at the same time try to keep together, try to get some connection between the people that we know or we want to know.
It's not nice, to be honest. I am almost 50, so I have been living in some way. Now I need to learn to live in another way.
I think we're going to see a lot of division from those who will continue living in fear and those who don't and won't. Those who just want back to normalcy and be able to live normal lives and be able to continue things how they're going. But those who are going to continue in fear, it's going to be challenging for them. It's going to be challenging for them to be able to go out to a grocery store or the pharmacy or even a doctor and have to be around other people who don't have any fear, and they're not going to wear masks, they're not going to wear gloves. They're just going to continue their lives normal as anybody else, as if coronavirus never existed.
In the next few months, I expect people to be more cautious. I expect them to try to get their lives back, which is good. And I also hope they're not gonna get too relaxed, because this situation is far from over.
I don't feel optimistic about these changes. I don't feel that people is gonna make any change at all. In fact, there's a lot of people that refuse to stay in quarantine. People who are protesting because they feel that they are jailed and they cannot go out.
It's not new that we have faced this before. It's not new that we have faced as human beings many other challenges, for example, terrorism. And even after those, tragic moments, what we have done as humans is just to incorporate those new ingredients in our daily routines, adapt ourselves according with those threats, if we wanted to call it that way, and move on with our normal lives. And hopefully that's what I can predict that it's going to happen.
I see the world changing over the next few months because we're going to be more self-conscious about our own space. We want to protect our own space, and we want to respect other people's space. With all these masks and people not touching each other, I think it's going to impact us for the next few months. But also it's going to make us appreciate hugging somebody, having a connection with somebody, sitting with 3 friends at a restaurant and eating, or having a drink close by, being to talk directly to each other. Now we're gonna appreciate those moments, and we're gonna try to do it more often.
Absolutely not. I think this was the biggest excuse for social distancing, and not in the way that they're saying social distancing to protect each other, but more in the way of a lot of people just didn't want to socialize a lot, or didn't want to be next to other people. I think this is in a way an excuse to bring up other things, racism, cultural differences, religious differences. And I think, there is definitely not going to be 100% normalcy for everybody. I think fear is going to live in many people, and fear is definitely going to rule how they live.
I don't think we're returning to normal after this. Normal is not going to be normal anymore. We're going to have a new normal. With all these different things that have happened, because this is changing everybody's life in such a big way. So I don't think normal is going to be normal anymore.
There is a lot of people who are talking about a new normal, and nobody really understands what this new normal is going to be, or what this new normal is about. One thing that is for sure is that probably we're going to have to learn to live with this virus. This is something that is not gonna go away. We can expect to have this kind of situation coming once and again.
I'm not sure if the world is gonna be normal. I think nature is very wise, and somehow it's gonna get into balance, but I don't know necessarily for what is gonna be the new balance, right?
I do think that the world is eventually going to go back to normal, but I think that it's going to take quite some time because, this pandemic has left an impact. So I think that it's going to take quite a while for everything to go back to normal.
Everything, the new normal, will be very, very weird. I don't think people will shake hands anymore. I will not shake hands, probably, because the virus will be there. It will not disappear. I don't want to talk about vaccines and everything. I think we need to live with this virus.
This mode of being concerned about our health probably will take something like 3 to 5 years. So I don't think life will become as we used to know it before. in this period of time. It will take some years for us to just let these feelings go. And these are emotional feelings. You just feel fear of getting sick. So I think that's going to take a while. I hope we can manage that.
I think the world will continue living even after coronavirus, because it always does. It's going to leave some scars though, and a great lesson with a big cost.
I trust that these things are going to be back to normal at some point in time in the future.
Maybe I am optimistic, but I do think that the world is gonna go back to what we used to call normal. We have short memories, and we're not gonna really remember the really hard times we went through. We are going to go back to normal because we want to do it. It's what we were used to. And I think we're gonna go back to that, and we're gonna completely forget about how bad this was, and we're not gonna let us affect our future.
Not change my life, but gave me the opportunity to have that silence and connection with myself.
I will do my best to stay close as possible to my home with my family and friends.
I think this process helps us to realize that we don't need anything material.
All those things that I used to take for granted, like sitting with a friend, like hugging somebody, like high-fiving, those things are gone for now. So I'm going to appreciate them more once we are back to normal.
I think my life and my family's life has changed because we are now home all the time. We actually only go out once a week to the supermarket. It's our exciting day outside. We're learning to interact with each other a lot more. We have had to change the way we learn for school, the way we work. It's also been hard to concentrate with everything that's going on. So everything has changed a little bit. The fact that we don't really wear clothes anymore, it's all just a t-shirt and sweatpants all the time.
There was not a big change in my life. I work at home, so for me staying at home, it wasn't a big impact. However, it was difficult for me to going out and see the barricades, the roads physically closed. We decided to spend the quarantine period in my in-laws in the countryside because we thought it would be safer, especially for our kid.
My life changed, I would say, to a more positive perspective because, as I mentioned earlier on, I appreciate things now more than I did.
I think I need to learn on how to be patient because either to find a job or to start and finalize a new project will take more time than I usually ever expect. So I think patience will be something I will learn on the following years.
How our lives have changed a bit, where we have more topics and more conversations about things, and we realize what each of us have as differences in points of view.